Welcome to the first official episode of the Fan Feed Network podcast. My name's Cameron. This is Trey. And, man, dude, I'm excited.
Yeah.
The journey begins.
It's really exciting, man.
I feel like a hobbit.
Yeah.
All right, so we're a football podcast, but we thought it was pertinent today. It's July 23rd of 2025, and we've had almost 2 weeks to just ingest and take in this Justin Bieber album. Dog, how are you feeling about the Biebs?
Yeah. So you and I obviously talked about this off camera. So I got to back up to my initial reaction was, oh my gosh, this first track sounds like Michael Jackson, sounds like a mix between Michael Jackson and the 1975. So I was like, I don't know. But you listen to it more and more, and dude, I'm all in now, man. I'm a believer, like you called yourself, self-proclaimed believer over there. Man, he's good. He's got a gift. He really does.
Dude, I hated Justin Bieber for the longest time. Like, my sister and her friends and the girls that I was interested in as a teenager loved Justin Bieber. And, I mean, he's handsome. I mean, there's an SNL skit me and my wife just watched the other day with Taron Killen in it, and he's like the older brother. Justin Bieber's like the boyfriend that comes in. The older brother's razzing the Justin, and he's like, look at his face. He's perfect. Like, so he really is. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But dude, this album is so good. Like
Daisies? Oh my gosh.
Daisies is so good.
That song is incredible.
That first song, that was the one that like grabbed my attention the most because it was such a change from everything else he's ever done. And it sounds just like Michael Jackson.
Sure. Yeah.
And it just gets stuck in my head. It is so good. So if you're watching this, number one, we want you to leave with like, new knowledge about football, or maybe feel hyped up about your team, or maybe concerned about your team, but also go listen to Justin Bieber's new album.
Go check it out.
And also Tyler, the Creator's new album. Super good. But you guys are probably wondering, what is the Fan Feed Network? So Fan Feed Network is we're kind of a website, a content bringer of NFL news. And we're going to be bringing content to you through the lens of fans. We're not suits. We're not the high up guys. We don't get paid for this. We're doing this for free. We're in Trey's house right now in his spare room, shooting this podcast. We're just fans. We love the game. And we have a team of writers for coverage on every NFL team. And we're going to be cranking out content all throughout the year. Every week. So we're just really excited to go on this journey and just, talk about football with like no breaks, no, not holding back. We don't have somebody telling us what we need to talk about. We just get to talk about whatever we want. So if we want to rant, we get to rant. If we want to scream, we get to scream, whatever. So Trey, you're the mastermind behind this. What brought you to this point?
Yeah. This is it's been, in the works for a couple of years. My wife and I, we've been talking about it, and I mean, you all don't know, but you will learn very quickly. I'm a diehard Broncos fan, but last 10 years since the Super Bowl has been miserable, right? And I just wanted somebody to say that. Like, I wanted some outlet to come out and put out a piece that said, this sucks. Like, it's terrible to be a Broncos fan right now, because it was. And every year you hear the same thing. Oh, maybe they'll get together. Maybe they'll get together. It sounds like, Cowboys fans, the last 30 years. But nobody would say that. Everyone's kind of a little bit more positive, but I just wanted the real honesty, the truth. And so, got together with a few good guys, yourself included. And we're here to provide a platform to passionate fans across the nation that just want to talk about their team, and you just build a community around the game of football, the sport that we love. And I want you to grill me, if the Steelers meet the Broncos in playoffs and you guys, turn us into dust, that's what that I want you to let me have it, because that's what makes sports fun is the good times and the bad times. So
I have to anchor you because I've heard you rant about other teams in the AFC West.
Yeah.
And it's pretty biased.
It's
as a Broncos fan.
Extremely biased. You guys will learn.
So I have to counteract that. Yeah, you talking about the Chiefs is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. It's just so I love it.
Well, it's funny because even the person we got covering the Broncos this year, I was talking to her and I was telling her where I stand on Bo Nix, and she's way more grounded than I am, about the whole thing. But I'm I drink the Kool-Aid.
You're a dreamer.
Yeah, of course. Dreamer. Hey man, like what sports without like hoping for the best, every single moment. So it's fun.
That's how I felt when the Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and
yeah. Huge penny.
Now
penny
I'm just
guy.
Yeah. Now I'm
penny kick it.
I'm sad. Just very sad.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, stay tuned till the end, guys, because there is going to be multiple ways for you as fans to be involved in this project as well. Once again, this is fan-driven content. So we have writers on the team. We have Trea and myself. We have a couple other people on the team, but at the end of the day, we want to hear your voice. We want to amplify your voice. And so at the end of the podcast, we'll share a couple ways that you can interact with us so that we can share your voice via the podcast or maybe even articles or anything like that. I mean, we really want to hear what you guys have to say, because I think the fans' takes on sports is really pushed down in lieu of, bigger conglomerates. And, we like those conglomerates. I wake up and watch ESPN, or I go to ESPN to check a lot of things. No downing to them, but this is just another way to look at sports.
Sure.
So, but it's July 23rd, 2025, and training camp started
Football's
yesterday.
back, baby. Yeah.
We
for
are
like
so
26 teams, I think. 26 out of the 32.
So back. I think everybody will be in training camp by Thursday or Friday this week. So, what have you seen so far that's been catching your eye?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff. First of all, did you see that clip of First Take?
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
For those of you that don't know, First Take, they retweeted. They showed on their show a tweet of Dak Prescott throwing a touchdown to George Pickens. Only the clip was taken last year. It was, I don't know who was wearing 14 at the time.
Brandon Cooks.
Oh, Brandon Cooks. That's right. The guy who tweeted out, he's like known for like just like rage baiting and
at Ferg Season, FERGSZN.
Go
look it up.
And it's just so funny because they didn't even start training camp until like today, and they were talking about it yesterday on First Take, ESPN. That's crazy, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I think they later apologized for sharing the tweet too, which is just so funny because they just didn't check their sources. But if there's anything to take away, training camp, you got to be careful because especially on Twitter, people are trolling like all this stuff, and people just get way overhyped way fast. You know, people saw the tweet that said Dak Prescott throws first pass to George Pickens for a bomb for a touchdown. It's like, what? You see that? I thought it was George Pickens the first time I saw it. I couldn't figure out the joke. And then later I was, I'm in on it. So, what else have you seen?
Yeah, man. JJ McCarthy looks good from the clips that I've seen. He's there's a few of them where some of these Twitter trolls are saying like, oh, he's looking like Patrick Mahomes out there and that kind of thing. But he would have been sacked like 3 times on the same play, that sort of thing. But he looks good. I mean, from a fan's perspective, on an iPhone, shot from the hill, he looks good. He looks good from what we can see.
Is there a word? It's like photogenic, but for video. Like when JJ plays, I feel like this happened last year in training camp. He just looks good. Yeah. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if he's good. I honestly don't. I'm more on team JJ is probably going to be more mid. Sure. At least starting out. I think we're jumping the shark a little bit on that. But he just looks so good throwing the ball.
He looks solid. Yeah. He definitely passes the eye test. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Training camp doesn't mean anything. There's notably there was one training camp when Case Keenum was the Broncos quarterback and he was tearing it up. He was like, I forget, some crazy like 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions or something. And Patrick Mahomes meanwhile was throwing like 5 picks. He threw 5 picks in a training camp practice. Well, they went to the Super Bowl that year, and the Broncos were, I think, like 6-10 or something. So that kind of season,
But no slight to Case Keenum. He still holds the single season record for most passing yards in a college season.
No way.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how much, but it's Case Keenum. I only know that because I've been playing CFB 26, and I've been frying people, just like launching the ball. I still can't beat his record. It's unbelievable. Yeah, so there's one guy that I keep seeing clips about.
Yeah.
It's Keandre Lambert-Smith, receiver
Chargers.
from the Chargers.
Yeah.
5th round pick. He's 6'1", 180 pounds. You know, they drafted Trey Harris in the 2nd round. So you're looking more for Trey Harris clips. But, dude, this guy has made, like, I'm saying, like, 3-4, like, highlight catches where he's, like, there's one where he jumps and twists his body and toe taps, like, both feet inbounds while doing all that. Nuts catch. And then they're all just deep bombs that he's, like, jumping up and making these crazy catches. I don't know if it's just the Chargers, like, 2nd or 3rd string, like, corners.
Yeah.
You know, that are probably pretty trash, that they're just getting cooked. But that's one that's I'm having a hard time, like, you know.
I mean, Antonio Brown was a fifth round pick.
He
I
was.
mean, you never know, man. You
was.
never know who's going to pop.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Who else do we have?
Not really training camp related, but today Browns unveiled their helmets. Their new brown helmet, and
brown one.
That guy just like fell off the dock when they, dude, it's so funny. Oh my gosh, it's the most Browns thing ever. They're like doing this big announcement. Somebody literally falls off a dock into water as you're making an announcement. It's so crazy, man.
I still can't tell if it was staged. It kind of looks staged, but you know, if it was, good for the Browns. You know, at least they're trying. But, I feel like
talking about them. I mean, that's how you get people to look at it, right? I mean, it goes viral for that.
Bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Another guy I was stoked to see. I tweeted about this yesterday that once I see a clip of Bashard Smith, I'm going to be just unbearable. And sure enough, today there were a couple clips of him catching passes out of the backfield for the Chiefs. Well, I've been pretty good. I've been pretty tame. But no, dude, like Bashard Smith is a guy I love. You know, he's a converted wide receiver turned into a running back playing for the Chiefs. Chiefs obviously lacking some, you know, athleticism and firepower from their backfield. You know, Isaiah Pacheco dealing with all those injuries, Kareem Hunt or what's left of Kareem Hunt, who was Carson Steele. Carson Steele, who everybody was hyping last year. And Bashard Smith 100% will get that, like, hype train. Like, people will be just, like, sending 2nd-round picks for him in fantasy football and all this stuff. But, like, people are going to go nuts for him. He might not turn into anything because he's a 7th-round pick. Yeah. You know what I mean? Pacheco was too. Carson Steele. It just happens to chief running backs. Yeah. You know, who was the guy a few years ago? People loved Darwin Thompson. I mean, I don't even know if you've heard of him.
I don't even know who that is.
He's terrible. Terrible. But, like, in training camp, he was getting all the work, and they were like, oh, he's running with the ones and all this stuff, and it was just steady drum beat, and people were just going crazy for him. I mean, just hilarious. But I'm very in. I like Bashard Smith a lot. Yeah. So, who else have you seen?
Cool. Not so much a clip, but I heard that quote from Gino, right? He was like, I'm not in Vegas to roll the dice, but to run the tables.
Dude.
And I was like, man, what an incredible line for a team that's going to be in 4th place in their division. What absolutely, like, it's so good though. Like, I would love if my quarterback said that, you know. Obviously it's a very Vegas related thing, but man, I saw that. I was like, that kind of gave me chills a little bit, but sorry, brother. Like,
I love Geno Smith. I just love him. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I think Geno's so good. I think this year people are going to see how good Geno was with that terrible Seattle line last year. If you look like, and I'm not much of like a stats nerd, I just hear this from stats nerd people, but if you look at like some of his advanced numbers and like his efficiency numbers and stuff, the dude was balling last year, like a top like 6 quarterback.
We'll see.
And you know, the offensive line in Seattle was terrible, but he did have good receiver options. Yeah. You know, now he's with Oakland. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm showing my age here.
Wow, that's
with Las Vegas.
Yep.
Got a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
You know, some better than others.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Brock Bowers and Genty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Bowers and Genty are going to be so good.
They're going to be crazy, man. It's going to be good offense.
A couple others I saw. Luther Burton did not practice today.
Oh, your guy.
My guy. Apparently he stepped on a ball, and I don't know if that he just didn't practice.
Rolled an ankle or something? Man, that's weird.
I'm trying to hold myself back because I'm almost like turning my brand into a Luther Burton like stan.
Yeah.
And all the signs are telling me not to.
Yeah.
Like there's so many signs, like the character concerns, him dropping into the second round, him being injured, Ben Johnson talking about him in, interviews and like, why, if you're not here, you're not going to get better. And then he steps on a ball the first day of training camp and like does not practice. Like any other player I would be out on very quickly. I just can't give up Luther.
Well,
his college tape is so good.
You hitched your wagon to him.
Early.
Months ago.
Way early.
Back in, what was it, March or February? You were just singing his praises.
100%.
Like, to me, and I was like,
It was
maybe.
at that birthday party.
Yeah.
It was where we first reconnected
Yeah.
and we first talked about this idea.
Yep.
And that was one of the first things. You were asking me who you thought the Broncos should take.
Yeah.
And I was saying, dude, Luther.
LB3.
Like, Luther would have been sick with the
LB3,
Broncos.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's any other guys. Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams is a rookie playing for New England.
Okay.
Came out of Washington. I think it was Washington State. Yeah, Washington State. He played with Cam Ward for one season.
Yeah.
He's like a shifty kind of like route running guy. But apparently he's dominating that first day of training camp with Drake May. So that's really exciting.
Drake needs somebody. He needs a guy like he needs a solid number one.
Yeah.
And you thought you might get that in Stephon Diggs, and then
and then the booger sugar happened.
Booger sugar.
And then he started partying on boats with people. And just I don't know. He's recovering. Looks like he's recovering really well from an ACL tear. 30. What is he? 31. Like 31
Something
years
like
old.
That. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting so old.
Dude, there's a lot of NFL news. Like Honey Badger just retired. I remember him coming out and being like, man, like this guy's going to be so good for so many years. And he just retired. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, 12 years already? It does not seem like he's been in the league for 12 years. But my gosh, time flies, man.
It 100% does. Well, enough about training camp. We'll probably have more next week.
Yeah.
This was just the start. I'm excited. I'm going to be overhyping people and just overreacting to everything.
Just buying into everything.
Some people like to tell you not to, like, stop overhyping them. But, like, dude, live a little. We haven't had football since, what, February?
Yeah.
And so, like, let's just have some fun, man.
Right.
Like, let's go for it. Like, if I think Bashard Smith's going to be the number one running back of all time in Chiefs history, then let me believe that.
Yeah, why not?
I'll be heartbroken later. We'll take it. So let's talk about the overarching, feel heading into the 2025 season.
Yeah.
How do you feel going into this 2025 season?
Dude, I feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to talk about Broncos again, I will. If you want me to talk about, the NFL,
let's
I will
talk about the NFL as a whole.
Yeah,
How do you feel like the whole NFL? Like, do you feel excited about this year? Is there?
I'm really excited about a lot of teams. Not, Broncos aside, like I think the Bears. I think the Bears are going to be good, man.
Oh, wow.
Ben Johnson, him coming out. I think that they're going to have a lot of firepower. I think they're going to get creative. I mean, couldn't be worse than what it was last year. Oh my gosh, that coaching job. I've never seen a worse coaching job.
Bad.
I don't think. And this come from somebody who had Nathaniel Hackett as a head coach.
And Adam Gase.
Yeah, Adam Gase. Yeah. We had Peyton to cover that one. Anyways, Bears are going to be good. I am excited to watch J.J. McCarthy. I want to see Aaron Rodgers, with the Steelers, even Geno coming over to the Raiders. You got Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks. Like, there's a lot of really cool storylines that are happening this year. So overall, I'm really excited. And it doesn't seem like there's really one powerhouse team that's going to run the NFL. I mean, I think the Eagles are probably closest to being in that spot. But yeah, I think that, everybody got a little bit weaker. Well, all the top teams I feel like got a little bit weaker. Maybe the Ravens got a little bit stronger. I don't know. It's I don't know. We'll see. But all the mid teams I feel like are getting better too. So I think it's going to be a lot more competitive. So this year I'm really excited to just watch the entire landscape of the NFL unfold versus just focusing on the Broncos like I normally do, because I'm really interested in so many different storylines that are happening this year.
Yeah, it definitely feels, and you hit on this with all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It feels like a year of transition in 2025. A lot of older quarterbacks kind of moving on from their old teams. Aaron Rodgers coming to the Steelers, probably his last hoorah. And, as a Steelers fan, I'll talk about my Steelers feelings here in a little bit. But, then you've got teams like the Vikings who,
Yeah.
they moved on from Kirk Cousins 2 years ago. They have Sam Darnold last year. Sam Darnold does great, has a career year, and then they move on from him for J.J. McCarthy, who has yet to play a snap in the NFL. A lot of transition. I think one of the other big themes carrying over from last year that I'm going to be very interested in was just the kind of play calling style. So like last year we saw a massive increase in running plays.
Yeah.
And the restoration or the revival of running backs. For a couple years there, it was like RBs don't matter, running back doesn't matter, because everybody was just slinging the ball. Defenses started playing that cover 2 shell defense. And it forced teams to play the ball shorter and not be able to, hit all these home run plays. So then a team like the Eagles goes and invests heavily in the offensive line. They go out and pay Saquon, and you see what happened. Saquon ran over them. And I think that was just a product of defenses changing. A lot of teams were drafting linebackers who were around the 230, 240 pounds mark because they were faster.
I was going to say,
a lot of hybrid safeties coming down. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's almost like that hybrid position kind of took over, and running backs can now overtake them. Yeah. I mean, they're smaller. They're not these big bruising linebackers anymore. Yep. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, and you're exactly right. That's and so the revival of the running back position is here, and it couldn't happen at a better time because the 2025 draft was just stockpiled with running backs.
Yeah,
I mean, top to bottom.
Yeah.
There's so many guys I'm excited to see. So many guys I'm like, they were drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th round that I'm like, dude, these guys could be it. That was another guy I saw a training camp highlight from was DJ Giddens.
Yeah.
He was like one of my favorite guys during the whole draft process. And he got drafted, I think, like the 5th or 6th round by the Colts. But I saw a video of him today, and he looked just lightning fast, So I'm really interested to see kind of the shift. Are we going to continue going more run heavy? Is that going to force defenses to change, try to go to some more heavier sets? And is it going to open up the pass as a whole? It's interesting to watch NFL trends. So I am more in favor of passing the ball because it leads to higher scoring games typically. But we could be in for a year where it's a lot of running the ball, a lot of low scoring games. Because they're playing defensive in a game of possession on offense.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How do you feel about the tush push? Why are we still trying to ban this play?
I am on the, if you can't stop it, join it, right? Like try to do it. I mean, I don't think you should ban a play because you can't stop it. What if, somebody ran a 9 route and you couldn't stop it? Their wide receiver's fast. Let's just ban it. I don't know. It's, name one person that's got injured from it. That's the main thing, right? Is that, you can get injured from the tush push, but show me a single person that's gotten injured from that play. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's not enough to ban a play. I mean, you get injured way more doing other anything else. A quarterback gets sacked. He can get injured on it. I mean, Joe Theismann, right? Alex Smith.
100%.
Yeah, like why not ban the sack, right? I don't know. I'm very much against banning the tush push just because a team is extremely good at it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Jalen Hurts was built for tush push.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Saquon probably hates it.
Saquon probably hates it. Yeah. Fantasy owners hate it, unless they have Jalen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same way. Why are the Packers the leading team and trying to cancel this play or disallow a play that's very legal?
Yeah.
Also, but this is just my feelings. Why haven't we gotten a defensive tush push play?
Yeah.
If they can tush push the offense, why can't we get the middle linebacker or the safety getting tush pushed right down the? I mean, that just feels like hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. I know how to fix it, dude.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach. We also need to get bigger on defense.
Yeah.
And that's, once again,
beef up those linebackers.
You got to get these beefy linebackers. Bring back the Urlachers, the Patrick Willis, the Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll talk about season-wise is just the length of the season. How do you feel about the length of the season? You feel like that was a good change? What was that, a couple of years ago they added the extra game?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I know as a fan, I'm fine with it. The players are saying, why aren't you paying us extra money now because we have an extra game? I get it from their perspective, and, I think if they're also talking about adding an 18th game to it. I don't know if you heard about that, but I think at that point you probably want to add a second bye week for everybody. You know, I think that's what would make it, I don't know, easier. So really you'd be pushing it out to like 20 weeks in a season, you know, where you're adding an extra game and you're adding an extra bye week. I think that would be one way to take care of it. But I mean, again, personally, I like the longer seasons because I just feel like there's more football, right? And I just, you know, I love those games where the games go for 4.5 hours, you know, as rare as they are. You know, I love when you can just watch more and more and more. So selfishly, yeah, I mean, I like it. What about you?
I mean, I'm the same way. I wish the NFL could play like an NBA length season, like an 82 game. That would just be fun. That might be too much. But I just know it's not feasible. These guys are just getting hurt left and right. And I mean, it's pretty bad. That's the only thing I'm like, should we really keep adding games to the season? Because it seems like every year, I have a buddy who has a great fantasy team. We play in a dynasty league together. Like, amazing. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs, like everybody who's good, all on the same team. Because he's got all those top end players, he doesn't have any bench pieces. Yeah. And so like every year he gets to the playoffs and somebody's hurt. Last year it was Jalen Hurts. I had Jalen Hurts. Jalen was hurt. I think CeeDee Lamb was also hurt and he was on his team. And it's like, when you get to the end of the season, all these guys are hurt. It also affects the playoffs. Yeah. You know, I just finished season 1 of Receiver on Netflix. Yeah, finally. Yeah. I watched half of it and then forgot about it and then got back to it. Yeah. But you watch the 49ers go to the Super Bowl and poor Debo, poor George Kittle, like both of them were just like they couldn't stay healthy. I mean, Debo got hurt in the first quarter, second quarter. And Kittle got hurt by the fourth quarter. It was like, you know, injuries are injuries. I'm not saying one extra game is causing those, but football's a rough sport. Yeah. It's a contact sport, and I don't know. As a fan, I want more games, but also knowing the players and their own where they're at, like I kind of respect keeping it short. It also makes the games matter more. Yeah. So, you know, I don't want to take that away. That's one thing I don't like about the NBA is you can kind of play games and you can just lose certain games because it, in the grand scheme of things, losing one game isn't like the end of the world. Or like the MLB. 82 games. We won't even talk about the MLB.
You can lose like 10 straight games and not even matter. It's so crazy, dude.
We won't talk about that. Let's go into these power rankings.
Yeah, man.
So how did you feel about it's John, right? Yeah. So John's article, how'd you feel about that?
Yeah, it's good. It's really well written. John is our contributor. He's a big Giants fan.
Giants fan.
Yeah, and
poor
so
guy.
He ranked. Yeah, I know. Oh man, you think he's drinking the Russ Kool-Aid yet?
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope he's with the dart train. I'm on the dart train.
Yeah, dude, same here.
Or the Jameis train. Like you can't go wrong on the Jameis train.
Like either one of those, like
the
above
most
Russ.
fun games ever are Jameis Winston games.
So fun, so fun. I thought he was really good. I was surprised by some of where he had some of the teams. So he's got the Packers in the top 10, which I would also put them in the top 10. But where he's got them is like right behind the Lions, which I don't think they're at the Lions level personally, but it's really interesting the way that he wrote. You guys should go check it out because it's really, really good stuff. And the article's live now, so you'll be able to you just go on our website, fanfeednetwork.com. You'll see it right there on the front page. But yeah, it's really, really good stuff. What did you think about where he had the Steelers?
I thought it was pretty pathetic. I thought it was pretty cowardly to put the Steelers right there in the middle of the pack. Yeah. You know, we were only 2 spots behind the Broncos. So, I mean, Trey, how'd you feel about the Broncos rankings? Since you want to attack me like that?
Yeah. No, he put him at, and I'll say he put him at 14. That's a little higher than the pack. But hey, I mean, that's like where they about were last year, right?
It's wild card.
Yeah, wild card, exactly. So, I mean, I would say that's probably accurate right now. They're going to be number 1 by the end of the season, but
wow.
Yeah. Wow.
We'll get into that later.
That's not my hot take. But no. Yeah. I mean, I think he's very accurate with a lot of these things. Yeah. And Jets fans, you should go check it. Go see what he wrote about the Jets. It's interesting. Very interesting. Giants are not last, by the way. So Giants fans, go check it out.
And, you get a little better this year, Giants fans.
Yeah.
And, who's Titans? Yeah.
Titans are pretty low.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
The Packers one was I'm not a Packers guy, dude.
Me neither.
I don't get Jordan Love. I don't get the hype around him.
Yeah.
I think he's as mid as can be. I don't think that drafting Matthew Golden is the thing that's going to push them over the edge. Their defense is, still middle of the road. They play in a pretty tough division, playing with the Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears. The Bears are coming up. That is going to be a tough division, and it can slip out from under you really fast. And I don't see the Packers as a relatively strong team in that division.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would probably put them as a top 10 team because I think that they.
Where do you have them in the division?
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably third.
Yeah.
But I could see them being fourth.
Right.
I could also see them being second.
Right.
So
that division's wide open.
Yeah, that division's going to be tight. I think it's Lions and then pretty steep drop off. Yeah. And then so here's the thing. I go back and forth with the Vikings a lot. I love the Vikings team. I really do, and I've loved them for years. And I think that they could be really good if JJ hits. And to John's point about the Packers, the one question that they have is their defense, and especially losing like Jair Alexander. I don't know what Packers fans' outlook was on him, but I mean he was at one point considered top 3 cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I mean that's got to be a loss at some point. I mean I think it's probably a cap casualty.
I think the big problem with Jair is that he just kept getting injured.
Yeah.
They couldn't depend on him to play games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only played half the season. I feel like the last 2 seasons. I could be wrong on that because I don't follow defensive players as much. But I know that was a big thing for them is that they couldn't depend on him. Yeah. And a player with that price tag, at a certain point you got to decide, do we cut bait and try to save money now, or do we keep investing in him and hope that he just recovers better? And, corner is one of those positions that can just drastically change year over year. Sure. We've seen so many of these dominant corners come in and they have the best season of all time. And then the very next season, they're getting cooked by the third receiver on the team. So, I think it was a smart move by the Packers to kind of let him go, just saving money. But like I said, there's just not a lot that excites me about the Packers. I didn't feel like they did anything more to climb up the rankings. And unless the one thing you can argue is that Jordan Love was injured for a lot of last year and played through a lot of that. And so maybe this year he stays healthy and can play a little bit better. They do have a lot of wide receiver 2s, which is probably really exciting.
Yeah.
Crazy to go in the first round, finally draft your first receiver, and it's a wide receiver 2 type guy, a guy that needs a bigger receiver to, like a Devontae Adams on the team to draw coverage away from him. Matthew Golden's not a number 1.
Yeah.
And people will probably cook me for this. Some people have compared him to Ladd McConkey. I just don't see it at all. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for who was it? Isaiah Bond getting suspended, or Matthew Golden, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway. Another quick thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is kind of off topic.
Yeah.
But it's still on topic, but different teams. Off the rip. Commanders or Bengals?
Commanders.
Yeah, I would too. In the article, he's got them flipped. So
okay.
he's got the Bengals a couple spots ahead of the Commanders.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would probably flip it, but he's kind of saying that they almost had a Cinderella story last year, sure. And it's probably not repeatable. Which he's probably got some credit there. Yeah, I probably agree with him to some extent. I think if they went head to head today, though, I think the Commanders would win. I think they're just a better overall team.
Bengals defense is atrocious.
It's getting worse.
And it's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
You lose Sam Hubbard in retirement. You still haven't signed their first round pick because they are just insane with their contracts.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson now has left the state after trying to get through contract discussions, and they still haven't re-signed him. The Bengals defense is going to be even more Swiss cheese than it was last year.
Man.
If the Bengals were to play the Commanders would destroy them on offense. Now, Commanders don't have the strongest defense either, but they're coached by Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn being a defensive guy, he gets more out of his players than what they're actually able to bring.
Sure.
You know, he brings it out of them. And so, yeah, it would be a close game because obviously the Bengals offense is like probably the number one offense in the league.
Oh yeah, dude, they're stupid.
Overall.
They're like stupid good.
Like,
I'm
Chase
so
Brown-
jealous. Every time I see them go out there, Jamar Chase. Every time I see him go, man, I'm like, gosh, what I wouldn't give.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're like two of my favorite players in the NFL. And I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah,
And I'm like, in this weird season of being a Steelers fan, there's not a lot of players on the team that I'm like, oh yeah, I want that jersey. Like TJ, like that's one that I'd want. Maybe Cam Hayward, but like other than that, like I'm taking Jamar.
Would you take?
Or I'm taking Joe Burrow.
Would you get one?
Like I would 100%.
Dude, hang it up right here.
Dude, I'll put it right here.
Dude, right there,
behind
Jamar
me,
Chase.
100%.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase has won me a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I love Jamar and I love Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I saw in that article was the number 18, which I probably shouldn't give away numbers, but
That's okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh. They were 18?
Were they 18?
Yeah, they're 18.
Dude. Yeah. I think John's right on with this one.
I think so too.
Like,
I thought you were going to say they need to be higher.
No,
I actually think
no.
this is perfect.
Yeah, I think this is perfect. I think that they're having contract talks with Micah Parsons right now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not going particularly well. Jerry Jones just the other day was talking about even if we just sign him, doesn't mean he's going to be here. You know, he missed a couple games last year. And, like, Jerry Jones is an idiot.
Man, it's crazy.
But, like, the defense is not as good as it once was. Trayvon Diggs is an overpaid corner. The offense is going to be fun.
Yeah.
The offense is going to be very fun, except for the running back position. That's going to be really weird. Like,
Oh, my gosh.
the corpse of
It's gonna be
Javonte,
bad.
Miles Sanders. I hope that
pro-
I was really hoping for Jaden Blue, the rookie, to be
Yeah.
like more, but apparently they're saying like he hasn't been practicing and he's like super lazy, so like that dream's kind of going out the window. So they're just gonna be slinging the ball like
George Pickens.
Dak is gonna
CD.
be firing George Pickens,
Yeah.
CD, like Jake Ferguson, even like
Yeah.
he's gonna be good.
Man, he's
So,
good.
He's good. Like
Yeah. He might be like a top 5 tight end this year.
Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hot.
I mean, there aren't that many good tight ends.
You're right. I mean, if touchdown variance goes his way, like he 100% can. Like,
So, you big George Pickens guy. Yeah?
huge.
Yeah. What'd you think about what he said? Did you hear what he said today?
What, George?
Yeah.
What did he say? I didn't hear
He
it.
said he's excited to play for the Cowboys because I'm paraphrasing here, but he said he's excited to run some good plays.
I agree with him.
Run good routes, or what was it?
He's going to expand his route tree. I mean, the Steelers really had like a couple plays for him. It was like a curl, a deep ball, and maybe a slant here or there. But
So he's not good at those.
I mean,
what you're saying.
it's just the offense with the Steelers. One, you got the quarterback problems for so long. I mean, Kenny Pickett for a while, and then some Mason Rudolph sprinkled in there. Last year, it was Russ, Justin Fields, which I like Justin Fields. I wish they gave him more play time.
Same here.
But Russ was, very bad. Just not great. The only balls that George Pickens was catching was those rainbow balls. That is like Russ's strength, is throwing those rainbow balls. And George Pickens is a dog.
Yeah.
He
could track him like crazy.
I know we're saving hot takes for just a minute.
Let's go.
And this is just a side hot take.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, I think George Pickens could be a top 12 receiver this year.
Wow.
Beside CD. Like, the coach already came out and was talking about we need George Pickens and CD to be interchangeable, meaning he wants to move them all over the formation. He's going to have them running all kinds of routes. If you watched last year, it was like whatever first drive the Cowboys had, Dak was just ultra targeting CD. Like, I had him in fantasy in one league or two leagues or something like that. And it was like every game, it was like 3 catches for like 30 yards in the first like 5 minutes of the game because they were just targeting CD. Now they're going to spread some of that around. They're going to run the ball less, and they're going to be in like shootouts. They're kind of like the Bengals in a way. And George Pickens, I think, has got I think he's got a lot more to his game than people have seen so far because of how poorly the Steelers used him. And that's coming from a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Pickens this year. Like, love him.
Yeah.
I just think he's funny too. He's such a goofy
He's a
guy.
character,
I just love him.
I'm interested to talk to some of our Cowboys coverage, on our team, because we got a lot of Cowboys fans that are on our team. So we're gonna have a lot of Cowboys content this year, a lot of it. So
America's team.
Yeah, I'm interested what everybody thinks about the team this year. The Cowboys are always fun to watch. Yeah. I mean, you can talk about Jerry Jones, but man, he makes it exciting. Like you want to watch the Cowboys. Like they do a really good job of marketing their team and do a really good job of getting people interested in what they're doing and giving a lot of people a lot of false hope.
So let's do this. Let's move into our hot take segment.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. There's like no better way to start the 2025 season, the Fan Feed Network podcast, than with hot takes.
Yeah.
Going all in. And we're going to start with some of our writers' hot takes that we got in our group chat over the last couple days. So we'll kind of go through these one by one. We don't need to spend a whole lot of time, but maybe a quick, that's good. Maybe a quick word on it.
Yeah, this is perfect for what I was just saying.
We were just talking about the Cowboys.
That's so funny. I didn't even know this was coming up.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah. All right, so number one, we have Dak is in the best shape of his career with a new wide receiver 2, a new backfield, and new coach. I think that he returns to MVP contention. This is from Seamus Sullivan, who's our Cowboys team writer.
Yeah.
So literally what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It is an exciting team. I definitely think that this could happen.
Yeah.
We just need Dak to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to read the next one?
Sure. Yeah, from Kendrick McKnight. He writes for our Panthers.
What up, Kendrick?
Our Panthers blog. For the first time in 3 years, Kansas City Chiefs will not play in the Super Bowl. 100% on board. I'm not only on board, but I actually agree. Like I don't think they make the dance this year.
I mean, you're siding with the odds. It is high odds that they return back to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
They didn't do particularly well last year. They kind of lucked into it.
Yeah. Nor did they do well in the Super Bowl.
People love to hate on the Chiefs.
And I do love to hate on the Chiefs.
You do love to hate on the Chiefs. And I want us to all take a second and just think back to the time when Tom Brady was running the league. Is this worse? Is the Chiefs' run worse than Tom Brady and his run with the Patriots?
So you're asking the wrong person because
Oh, you're a Tom Brady fan.
No.
okay.
No. I hate Tom Brady.
Okay,
good. I like Tampa Tom.
Yeah.
I hated New England Tom because also it was. Oh man, whole bunch of stuff. So Broncos met up with the Patriots when they were in one of their. It was supposed to be a Super Bowl run. It's like 2006. That's when Champ Bailey had like that crazy interception in the end zone, ran it back like 99 yards and got tackled. Anyways, knocked them out of the playoffs that game. Then they become the Broncos' biggest rivals because Peyton Manning comes over and, brings that rivalry from the Colts. So you're asking the wrong guy because at that time, that was my version of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's like we hated them, and we would always play them every couple years. It's like every other year almost. Like it seemed we were playing them, whether it be because of the division or because they were both the number one seeds in there, or not the number one seed. They're both first place division winners. And so they play each other like every couple years, and they're in the AFC. So we saw them a lot, and I hated it. I hated it so much. But we see the Chiefs now twice a year, and I hate that too. And it's been a butt whooping for 10 years. And it's only recently that the Broncos have shown any life to be able to beat the Chiefs. So to me, it's been torture for like 15 years. Like that's what it is. Really, is like it's been terrible to have both of the. I would love to be this team that just like runs the NFL, but it just is such a struggle. Not being it. I would probably, if you're asking me, I would say that the Chiefs run is worse than the Tom Brady run.
Oof. Yeah, no. As a Steelers fan, I don't even want to talk about Tom, dude. Yeah. I'll shout out my buddies from Boston because I know they'll watch this and they're gonna be like, "You talked about Tom Brady, you talk bad about him. Tom Brady's the GOAT." Shut up! I know he's the GOAT, but at the same time, I hate him. I will remind everybody that Ben Roethlisberger beat the undefeated Patriots in the regular season of 2004. As a rookie.
As a rookie, right.
What a dog. Yeah. But then couldn't beat them for the rest of his career, except for that one game where Jesse James definitely caught that ball.
Oh, my gosh.
He did. And the NFL rigged it for the Patriots. So, anyway, Chiefs. People love to hate the Chiefs. But I do agree with Kendrick. I think the AFC's gotten a lot stronger.
Yep.
The only way the Kansas City Chiefs get back into the Super Bowl is if they can unleash Patrick Mahomes like he was early on with young Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, but I don't.
But he doesn't have either one of those weapons now.
Well, he's got Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice if he avoids suspension, and Marquise Hollywood Brown. What a dog! What a dog! Let's move to the next one, shall we? All right. Nico Collins will lead the league in receiving yards with 1,700 plus yards. This is from Alex Percy, our Patriots writer.
Yeah,
we were just talking about the Patriots.
Yeah,
I love this take.
I do too.
Love it.
I was gonna say I think there's a very good chance that this happens, barring injury. Barring injury. Nico he's such a weapon. And he's one of those wide receivers who I'm just jealous that he's not on my team, and envious, Yeah. but yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, Tank Dell can't stay healthy. I mean, Nico can't really stay healthy either, but I think he's got a shot, to do this. I love this take. It's a bold take, but it doesn't seem so bold to me.
It's funny because a lot of people talk about how Nico Collins gets injured all the time. But if you look back, he really doesn't. He just has missed 4 games this last year. Yeah. And I think like 2 games the year before. So he doesn't miss a whole ton of time.
Recent.
But it's recency bias.
Yeah.
No, Nico is a dog. Like, Nico has been really elite in all of his play in the last couple years. And now the Texans have retooled their offensive line, so I'm expecting a little bit slower of a start from the offensive line, which means that they're probably going to have to get the ball out quickly, which they've added a bunch of new weapons to the offense with Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, and so I think it's going to open up Nico, and that's I'm very here. If he can stay healthy, I think 1,700 yards is pretty conservative. I think he could probably go higher.
Yeah. Wow.
You should take
close
this
to the record.
You should take this next one. This feels like a you take.
Oh, let's do this. Shedeur Sanders will win Offensive Rookie of the Year on the Poverty Browns. That's from Stefan Duncan. He's our Steelers writer.
Yeah, I asked him. I was like, "Were you hoping the Steelers took him?" And he's more of a fan of. He's a fan of Will Howard.
Yeah.
So he liked that pick. But he still thinks Shedeur's pretty good. I couldn't disagree more. I don't think Shedeur. I don't think Shedeur even has a shot to like even be in contention anywhere near MVP or the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
So. Who do you think is going to win it real quick? I'll tell you who's going to win it.
Genty.
Genty?
Yeah.
No. Travis Hunter.
Ooh.
Travis Hunter's going to win it.
Is that overall Rookie of the Year or offensive or defensive?
I think he'll win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that
I think Travis Hunter is going to – that's not even my bold take. But I think Travis Hunter is going to win it.
I love that.
That being said, I do think if Travis Hunter wasn't there and if Genty wasn't there, I could see how it would happen, but – I think both of those guys have a much higher chance of winning 100%. The Offensive Rookie of the Year than
Shedeur would have to beat out all those quarterbacks in training camp, which is not that big of a feat, but knowing the Browns organization, knowing the guys they have, and just seeing Shedeur drop to the 5th. Like, even when they drafted him, you could see the faces of like Stefanski and the other guys in the room, and they like everybody else. They're like clapping. They're like, "Woohoo! We got Quinshon Judkins, hooray!" And then they go and draft Shedeur, and it was just like,
"Did this because your dad called me?"
It's pretty much how it felt. Like it sounded like the owner called down and said, "Just take him."
Yeah.
And so
I will say though, if he starts early. I mean, he's quarterback. They love giving that award to quarterbacks.
And there's not a lot of quarterbacks out there that are going to be starting right away. Cam Ward's probably one of the only ones. And Tyler Shugg. Shout out Tyler Shugg. Spencer Rattler's apparently looking good in camp, but that's all a mirage. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
I agree with this one, so I'll read this one.
Cool.
I think Jordan Love is outside the top 15 quarterbacks this year, and the Packers are below 500. And this is from Alex Gast, the writer for the Vikings.
Yeah.
And, you can see that rivalry already kicking up.
I'm sure he loves the
100% this is right. Like, Jordan Love is a mid quarterback. He is not good, and I can easily see the Packers going 8-9.
Yeah.
Like, easily in that division. That's what we were just talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see this. I mean, I could see him being outside the 15. I think you're right. Like, he's probably like middle of the pack, but 15 is also middle of the pack. So, I mean, if he's 15 or 14, based on stats, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a Jordan Love guy either. I don't think he's the second coming of Aaron Rodgers or a third coming of Brett Favre or like any of that. Like, I don't think he's there. He could prove us wrong. He could go out there and tear it up this year, but I don't know. I mean,
he's proven me wrong. I mean, he's already better than what I expected him to be after they drafted him.
Yeah.
And I would hope so after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for so long. But man, like I just think he skyrocketed in like value or perceived value by people after his first year. And I still don't see it. Like ever since that first year, he's never really done much to warrant that kind of, attention. Yeah. So anyway,
I think he's overpaid.
Overhyped. Get him out of here. You can hit the next one.
Here we go. It's a Raiders one. Ashton Genty will lead the league in rushing yards this year.
Dude.
Definitely overall rookies. Mm-hmm. I think he'll lead the rookies. I don't see him beating Derrick Henry or Saquon. But I could see him hitting like 1,500 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
I could see him really like being a weapon, not in the run game, but also in the pass game. And I can already see him doing these like crazy wheel routes and just, sprinting down the sideline, boom, 70-yard touchdown. I could see that happening.
Let me ask
There's
you
a
this.
path. There's a path for him to get to win this.
Who's the backup running back for the Raiders?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably Geno Smith.
It's Raheem Mostert.
Oh, my gosh.
30.
Raheem's good, though.
34
He's
year old.
outplaying his age.
Yeah, but he's got like -2 ACLs.
Yeah,
so
yeah. He's wearing like concrete boots.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, dude, I think Genty will get a lot more all-purpose yards. I think the rushing yards will be the harder one because it's a less efficient offensive line.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's going to want to run the ball. They're going to have to run the ball to be efficient. I think there's an easy path to see him getting like 350 touches in year one, which is insane for a rookie.
That is insane.
Saquon, we talk about Saquon. Like, I love Saquon. He's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You don't typically see a running back repeat, a season like he had last year. You typically see them take less workload the next year. And so I'm expecting him to kind of drop in expected like touches and stuff.
You know how many touches he had?
I have no idea.
345.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a lot.
2,000 yards.
That's a lot. I mean, we haven't seen that in a long time.
2,000 yards, man. It's crazy.
But then Derrick Henry's one that like you could say like, oh yeah, he's not going to get another 300 touches. He will. He will. He's going to get hurt. He's 30 years old. He's not. He's just not.
He's been Mr. Consistent. I remember the first year I had him in fantasy, like when he went off, and I was like, I remember texting my father-in-law at that time, and I was like, this is his peak. Like he's never gonna do this again. And then every single year he's just gone crazy.
Yeah, he's
absolutely
nuts.
Crazy.
I mean, he's a freak. He's a specimen.
Yeah.
We'll go with the next one. The Panthers are winning their division, or at least getting a wild card spot. Is that
Cam Ward?
Oh, Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And then this is a second take. Oh, we got 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Cam Ward will win Rookie of the Year, leading the Titans to second place in the division and a wild card berth.
Man, two
This
bold
is from
takes here.
Anthony Montgomery, the writer of the Titans.
Yeah.
I think he gave us one overall and then a take for his own team.
Yeah, homer
But
take.
I like these. Panthers, I could see winning the division. What is it? Buccaneers, Falcons, Saints.
I don't see how they get honestly past the Bucs or the Falcons. I think Michael Penix is going to take that step. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Drake London and Kyle Pitts are going to go crazy. Yeah. I think they're going to be Bijan Robinson. Yeah, I think that's really powerful. I do think the Panthers are going to be very fun though. Yeah. They're going to be really fun. Xavier Legette, you got T-Mac, right?
Yeah. I love T-Mac.
Yeah, T-Mac got drafted there.
There's a great video of T-Mac today running the drill through the ladder.
Yeah.
Doing the footwork drill, and then he turns around, and he's supposed to catch a ball, but a guy ran into him, so he kind of like put his arm out to stop him, and then he like moved his arm up to catch the ball and caught it like one-handed.
Oh my gosh!
It's just, dude, aura. Like
Yeah.
the dude is just aura. Let's hit one more, and then we'll take another break. Last one. The 49ers, barring injuries, will win the NFC West. And this is from Dominic Orco. He's going to be writing for the Bears.
Yeah.
And, well, this one's already aging badly because the 49ers cannot stay healthy in the receiver core.
Yeah.
They just had a guy today, Jacob Cowing, which, you know, Ayuk's still hurt. Debo's gone. Juwan Jennings potentially holding out, which is wild because it's like
I mean, if you're the only healthy receiver,
yeah,
I mean, you have
you're right.
You got a leg to stand on.
You're right.
Like,
so Jacob Cowing is a guy they drafted a year or two ago. And
Ricky
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
He's on the pup list.
Yep.
Pup, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so like all these guys are hurt. Jacob Cowing apparently had a good day in training camp today, and guess what? He pulled his hamstring.
Oh,
like, are they just cursed?
Dude,
like,
they are.
So Jordan,
I feel bad for them, man. I feel bad for them.
I think his name's Jordan Watkins. If you're in any deep leagues, he's one to keep an eye out for. He got drafted this year in very late rounds, but he might be the only guy they have left.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so I love these takes. I love all these guys. Thank you all for sharing your takes.
Well, real quick on that.
Yeah.
You know who you go for? Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen's a great one.
Why not go grab him?
I don't know why the Steelers haven't gotten him.
Yeah.
Like, we need a guy like that opposite DK.
Solid guy. I mean, just go grab him.
I'm furious. Yeah, I would sign him in a minute. And I also saw one. This one was great. The Cardinals need to sign Amari Cooper to get Marvin Harrison out of that X role, because last year they would just put him in the X and send him deep like every play. And they said put Amari Cooper in the X role so that he's the sacrificial lamb, so he can run those wind sprints and we can get Marvin Harrison on some shorter routes. But anyway, let's take a quick break, and then me and Trey are going to give our own hot takes for the year. So we'll be right back. We are back, and it is time for us to hit our own hot takes. We've heard from the fans, and now you're going to hear from us. So we got 3 different takes today. All right, so we're going to hit a player take, an overall team take, and then we're going to do a take on our favorite teams.
Yeah.
And these are hot takes. They're supposed to be bold.
Sure.
We might not fully believe them.
Yeah.
But we got to act like it.
Yeah.
We got to walk around, and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll revisit these probably mid-season, and then by the end of the year, just to keep us, 1, accountable, but 2, for bragging rights. I would love to be right on maybe one of them, hopefully, but I'll probably be wrong on all of them because I swing heavy. So who do you want to start? You want to start?
I'll start.
All right.
Yeah.
Hit your player take
let's
first.
do player takes. Yeah. So I'll just say it outright. Devontae Adams is going to be a top 5 receiver.
Whoa. Wow.
Devontae Adams.
Where's Puka?
Huh?
Where's Puka? Like,
he'll be up there. I think Devontae
10,
is
top-
going to be that one.
you think he's going to
I think he's going to be the one over there.
Wow.
I just want to give you some numbers
This
from
is
last
hot
year.
fire. I'm
Yeah.
in it.
All right,
I'm here.
all right. So I did a little bit of research here. So Devontae Adams last year, in the last 5 games of the season, Devontae Adams, he averaged 7 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown per game. You average that out to a 17-game season. That's it comes out to 1,734 yards and 17 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Dude, that is insane. Like, those are insane numbers. Like, we talked about Nico Collins like being at 1,700 yards, but there's a real chance. And you go from Aaron Rodgers, who I don't say what you will about Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, he gave him to Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams is good. Like, that's why he got the ball. You also have Garrett Wilson in New York, who you could throw to, which, some people may say, oh, well, you didn't give Garrett Wilson any of those targets. Well, I went back and I did research on those as well. So Garrett Wilson, in those last 5 games, also he averaged like 70 yards a game, and he had like 3 touchdowns in those last 5 games. You average that out to a 17-game season, and you're also looking at like 1,160 yards for Garrett Wilson, which is a good season for a wide receiver. And so even with Garrett Wilson over there, like, Devontae Adams was going absolutely crazy. And Garrett Wilson was honestly supposed to be their number 1. He should have been their number 1. Devontae Adams supposed to come in and be that decoy, but couldn't cover him. And, nobody could cover him. Yeah, he went wild, man, and I believe that Devontae Adams could be prime Devontae Adams again,
Dude. I kind of love that take.
Yeah.
I kind of also hate it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I love Devontae.
Yeah.
I think Devontae is a dog. I mean, he's still performing at a very high level.
Yeah.
Only thing I'll say, I just feel like Rodgers just force-fed him last year. Not to say he wasn't getting open, because he was, but there were some games where it was just like Rodgers didn't care about anybody else and just force-fed Devontae.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I'll say is Puka has just displayed like elite numbers.
Sure.
Like consistently, even with Cooper Kupp dominating. Now, I could see Devontae doing it if he goes and has breakfast with Matt Stafford,
Yeah.
just like Cooper Kupp did, and if he does that, then maybe. But that's a hot take, baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, that's good,
about that
right?
one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. It's spicy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. So should I hit mine?
Yeah,
I'll
let's
hit
go.
mine.
Let's
All
go.
right. Luther Burton. Luther Burton, drafted to the Chicago Bears, will be the Bears' wide receiver 1 by the end of the year.
Stepped on a ball though.
Oof, pain. He will be the Bears' wide receiver 1 by the end of the year, and he will be a top 15 wide receiver overall.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's spicy.
Spicy.
Top 15?
Top 15.
Oh my
Top
gosh,
15.
that's crazy.
So it works together, right? I'm expecting the Bears offense to really jump up. I'm expecting Caleb
Yeah.
to really kind of step into what we expected early on with Ben Johnson.
What about Roma
at the helm.
Dunze?
I think Roma Dunze is well, I won't say that. I don't think Roma Dunze is very good. Now,
Okay,
Ben Johnson is talking very positively about Rome,
Turn him
and I
into
think
something.
it's probably just to like boost his confidence.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Rome. I
Okay.
think the vibes around DJ Moore are really poor.
Yeah.
Were really poor last year. I think there's a real path for Luther to kind of step in and take over. Now, Colston Loveland is also a great target in that offense.
Yeah.
It's just going to be interesting to see who Caleb Williams kind of chooses and who Ben Johnson kind of sees as like, maybe his Amon Ra, or does he even try to replicate what he did in Detroit? It's going to be interesting to see how that offense is run. But, man, I'm telling you, dude, like, you look at Luther Burton's college highlights, you look at his college numbers. I mean, I know his junior season was not very impressive. He kind of went the opposite way statistically. But his sophomore season is like one of the greatest college wide receiver seasons ever. You watch him on film, and it's like the dude just is so hard to tackle. Like, Amon Ra is such a good receiver because he knows how to get open in space. But if you put Luther in that, imagine Amon Ra with like 4.3 speed, but also like crazy moves and can always make plays and make people miss. Like, Luther Burton's like a receiver playing running back. And I think they drafted him high because I think they wanted him. I don't think it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a panic pick like a lot of people said because Travion Henderson got drafted right before them. I think the Bears wanted him. I think Ben Johnson loves him. And if the offense, rises up to the occasion and steps up in a big way, and if Luther Burton is the first option in that offense, it's very clear that he's going to be a top 15 receiver. So I'm a big Burton fan.
I see
Now,
that, yeah.
All the literally every sign is trying to tell me no, and I'm just fighting it off like not listening. Usually a guy like this, I probably wouldn't be as in on, but I just don't know what it is about Luther. I'm in, dude. I'm very in. So.
That's cool. I like it. I mean, it's supposed to be bold, right?
Yeah.
It's spicy, so it's bold and spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah.
All right, so hit us with your overall team take. Which
Yeah.
team are you choosing?
Oh, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
got
here
to.
it is.
You said I like to talk about the Chiefs.
Here we go. All right,
I
I
do.
got to keep them accountable here.
I do. The Kansas City Chiefs collapse has already begun. We witnessed the end of their what I would call their Super Bowl run. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If they go out and they win it again, I'm gonna be like, okay, Mahomes is the GOAT. Like, that's it. If they go out and win the Super Bowl with this team, I'm gonna be, I'll be right there. I'm not there right now. I mean, we saw them get exposed over and over and over and over and over again in the Super Bowl. They were winning all these games barely last year that they should not have won. They had some good games in the playoffs, as you should. Good teams do that. So I'll give them credit, but when they made it to the big game, it seemed like, they were a high school team playing Alabama, right? That's what it looked like. I think that they don't have enough weapons. I think Kelsey is a shell of himself. You're a big Xavier Worthy guy. I'm not a big Worthy guy.
Whoa, hold on. I'm a medium Xavier Worthy guy.
You're
I love his speed.
All right. So
I liked him coming out.
Pulled some numbers on him too, just so you know. Yeah. So without Rashee Rice, who they will be without for probably anywhere from like 4 to 10 games. That typically is what the NFL hands down.
Probably 4 to 6.
Sure. 4 to 6. Let's say 4. Let's even say 4. They are. So let's go back to Worthy. I wanted to show you that his PFF grade was 65.2, which ranks him 67th out of 98 wide receivers.
Is that for the whole season?
That's for the whole season. Okay. He was 48th in yards.
He was learning.
Yeah, sure. You can say that. He's learning. Yeah, he needs to learn a lot better. He was 28th in touchdowns. He had 6. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
So they don't have a solid Kelsey. You can say Hollywood Brown. I've never been a big Hollywood Brown guy.
Right.
His rookie season was the most excited I ever was for him.
Yeah.
And then it's been steep downhill since then. They have Isaiah Pacheco, he's okay at best at running back, but they're not really a running team. They're a throw the ball a lot, but it's like who you're going to throw to. If you don't have Rashee Rice in those first 4 weeks, first 6 weeks, however many it may be, you are facing an extremely uphill battle. You look at their schedule, and the first 9 weeks of let me just ask you, who do you think the top 5 or 6 teams are in the NFL? Not the Chiefs. Let's just talk about overall.
Bills. Eagles.
Uh-huh.
Ravens. Lions. Packers.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I don't even know who the 5th team would be. Probably I'd say the Texans.
Texans. Okay, cool. Let me read you off some of their opponents in the first 8 weeks. Okay. You got the Chargers week 1. That's not a gimme game.
No.
The Chargers are tough. You have the Eagles. You have the Ravens. You have the Lions. And then you have the Commanders and the Bills. That's in the first 9 weeks. Then you have the Broncos. And we haven't even talked about the Broncos yet. Right there, just those slate of games, I mean, you could be looking at like 5 losses.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you are, because obviously they beat a couple of those teams in the playoffs en route to the Super Bowl. But, dude, like if they don't have Rashee Rice and they're not figured out on offense, their season could be done by the middle of the season. I think that they're going to have a rough landing when it comes to the 2025 NFL season.
Wow. What do you think their overall record will be?
I think they'll be 10-7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you still have them with a winning record.
They're going to be a winning record.
So they are still going to squeeze out some of these late wins.
I think they'll beat like
maybe not 11.
The Bills and the Ravens, for whatever reason, they cannot beat the Chiefs. And to the Chiefs' credit, they're playing a lot of these games at home. Yeah. A lot of them. Like I know the Eagles, the Ravens, the Lions, those are all at home, but then they play in Buffalo in November. So so you never know what you're going to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they've got some gimme games after that. I mean, they do play the Texans later on too.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be a tough one.
They have the most brutal schedule I think I've ever seen. Like they just play every single powerhouse team that you can think of.
Yeah.
And that's just why I think that you're going to see a really bad Chiefs team this year. Not bad. I mean, a lot of teams
bad compared to what we've seen.
Yes.
The last like 5 years.
I think you're going to see a lot of really frustrated Patrick Mahomes. That's what I think you're going to see.
I can definitely see it, especially with that strength of schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've seen them kind of turn into this shell of what they were.
Yeah.
Ever since who's their offensive coordinator? I always
Eric Bieniemy.
Nope, Bieniemy's gone. Bieniemy's the guy like
now. Yeah, I thought,
he used to coach the Bears. Whatever his name is, you people probably know. But that guy, like, just ever since he became the offensive coordinator, they've become this more like balanced offense, a lot more like screens and RPOs, so everything's played really close to the line. You know, I know a couple years ago they just didn't have any weapons after they traded Tyreek, so they had to play like that. I'll go ahead, and this isn't even my hot take, but just I'll take the opportunity. I'm gonna hot take your hot take, and I think because of this tough schedule, I think they will also face tough sledding, but this is gonna make their offense play at a much higher level, especially once they get Rashi back. And Rashi is going to play that Kelsey role that we've seen for so long. Kelsey's going to be kind of available in a more utility role. Xavier Worthy's going to be opened up to do what he does best. Defense is still top 5.
Yeah,
like,
they're good. Defense.
I think they might be 10-7 too, but I think they could go deep in the playoffs, and they are good. And the playoffs is all about experience. You know, so like I'm with you. I think they will lose more games in the regular season, and they might not get that playoff bye. But man, dude, like they get into the playoffs if they can get this thing clicking, and if Mahomes, he's already right now working on his deep ball specifically because last year, part of the reason why Worthy's numbers were bad is he just missed them. Like Mahomes just missed him so much, you know, and so I just think if they can get all the pieces together, they are going to play hard teams, which is going to force them to kind of put the ball more in Mahomes' hand, and they're going to be playing from behind more, I think, which that's also a big deal, and they're going to have to throw the ball. Definitely. So I'm kind of excited. I agree with the take in one way, but I'm taking your take to another direction.
Okay.
So I like it.
Cool.
I like it.
What's yours?
All right. I said it earlier a little bit. The Texans.
Yeah.
I was struggling on what team to pick. You know, I was thinking about the Jags, and it just felt too cliche to say that they're going to be this year's Buccaneers because Liam Cohen. This is one take that I'm not sure I'm all the way in on yet. Sure. But when I think about it, it makes sense. And thinking of hot takes, I'm just going for it. I think the Texans are a Super Bowl team this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yep. The Texans.
That would be cool.
It would be a cool. I think this year more than any in the last couple of years is wide open. We were kind of talking about this. Some of the top teams didn't really, gain much. So they're not. I don't feel like they're getting better or stronger. A lot of these more middling teams have gained more, and I just really like what the Texans have done over this offseason. Number one, their defense. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Nico Ryans has built such a powerhouse defense.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, ferocious. Like, you watched them in the playoffs last year. They were just like, they were so good. Into the year, they were keeping them in games. That offense was really bad a lot of that last year. C.J. Stroud took a big step back. But there's reasonings behind that. They go out and pay Stephon Diggs, and they had Stephon Diggs for a few weeks, and then he tore his ACL. You have Nico. Nico was out for a stretch of games. Tank Dell, like a freak injury. And so C.J. Stroud is kind of left in this place of trying to make it happen with not a lot of weapons at his disposal.
Yeah.
The offensive line was also struggling a lot. And so this offseason, what do? They go and trade their number one offensive lineman, which to many seems like, what are you doing? But he's a guy who's getting paid an insane amount of money. They trade him to the Commanders. Or I can't remember if they just didn't sign him. It doesn't matter. They used the money to kind of piece and part some of this offensive line back together. So they spread it and get a couple more guys that I actually really like. So I think the offensive line is going to be better. It might take them a little time. So how else do you help a young quarterback develop? You build the line, and then you surround them with weapons.
Yeah.
They tried to do that last year with an aging receiver and Stephon Diggs, and it didn't work. And so they, cut him loose, and then they moved on. And what do? They go into the draft and draft 2 receivers.
Yeah.
So now you get
just
this guy.
hope one of them pops.
You hope one of them pops.
Yeah.
And I really like Jaden Higgins.
Yeah.
I think he's a very interesting prospect. And Jalen Knoll, they're both teammates at Iowa State. And so Jalen Knoll's more of a slot guy. Jaden Higgins is built and looks just like Nico Collins. So now you've got 2 guys resembling Nico. They add Christian Kirk, who Christian Kirk is, pretty average player, but he's a good slot role player. And so he's going to be in the slot. Jalen Knoll behind him. I just think they've surrounded CJ with some young weapons that he can grow with. And I mean, Tank Dell, take him for example. Like, Tank Dell was not an impressive prospect, but he was somebody CJ Stroud wanted and told the team he wanted. And Tank Dell was a beast that year one. I mean, there was a lot of conversation of who's better, Tank Dell or Nico Collins at that point.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, Tank experiences this injury, so that kind of conversation goes out the window. But, like, now you're adding these more weapons. You got a solid defense. CJ Stroud now in his third year, so there's a lot less maybe pressure. You know, there's pressure of, like, returning to form. But after year one, there was a ton of pressure on his shoulders.
Too much.
To, you know, be like this number one quarterback overall in the league. It was just too soon. And, you know, now I think some of that pressure's off. I think the Texans are really built to make a long run. And in the AFC, you know, all it takes is a couple games and a couple turnovers, and that's going to be the big one in the winter, is when they're playing playoff football and the Texans are forcing turnovers because they have Big Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, and then, oh my gosh, I'm like blanking on the corner's name, Derek Stingley Jr.
Derek Stingley, yeah.
That's their corner, and he's a dog. Yeah. I'm so sorry I forgot your name, Derek.
I love it.
You like it?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I think that the way that the Texans are built is the ideal way to build an NFL team.
Yeah.
I think it's the proven way that, you know, you look at the Eagles. They do the exact same thing. Yeah. You got a big O-line, you got solid offensive weapons, and you have an outstanding defense who, you know, suffocates all of the other opposing offenses.
Right.
And so that is how you build a championship team.
Yeah.
And, you know, if he takes that step, yeah, absolutely. If CJ takes that step, and, you know, if he can, you know, even split the difference of what he did year two versus year one, they're going to make a deep run. My only hesitation with that is just that we haven't seen him beat the big teams yet.
Right.
And so, you know, he plays the Baltimore Ravens. They get beat like 31-7 or whatever it was, you know, get the brakes beat off of them. But doesn't mean you can't do it this year. It just means we haven't seen it yet. So that's the only, you know, you just get over that hurdle. You beat some of the big dogs, and then all of a sudden you are a Super Bowl contender.
Yep.
You know, and I don't know their schedule, but if they play anybody like that mid-season, they beat them, you know, whether the Bills, the Lions, or the, you know, Ravens, or anybody like that, you're going to say, okay, yeah, these guys can win it. Yeah. And so I love that.
All right, last and final take.
Yeah, I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going with our favorite teams. We're going Steelers right here. Yeah. Obviously, my favorite team. Gosh, this is such a hard one. And I'm going to go with a hot take. I'm going to go with the optimistic side of me, even though as a Steelers fan, dude, I've just been hardened by the world, dude. It is so hard to be optimistic. But we're going to choose optimism tonight. So Aaron Rodgers comes into town. We've made a lot of trades. I love that the Steelers are just more active. Like this has been a fun offseason. Like even just the last like couple seasons with Omar Khan as GM, just hats off to him. He's making it so much more fun to be a Steelers fan. We used to never sign big names. We used to never trade or anything. We just built through the draft and signed people just to play roles. And so now we're going out and making these trades, signing these big names. It's like, is this Steeler football? But this is what I've wanted for so long for the Steelers. So that's good. We'll start with the offense. So Aaron Rodgers, you know, I think that Aaron has maybe one more season in him. And this is my hot take. I see the Steelers going to the AFC Championship game.
Woo, losing to the
losing
to the Texans.
But I'll tell you why. This is my conspiracy theory.
Sure.
So, let's rewind time to the Packers in the early 2000s with quarterback Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Bad boy Brett. Brett was a dog, number one.
Yeah.
And
all-time leading leader in interceptions.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I love Brett. You know, they draft Aaron Rodgers in 2005, and Rodgers sits behind Favre. Favre was furious that they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
Basically refused to teach him anything, said it's not my job to train him up or whatever.
What do you think about that? That kind of
It's terrible.
You think so?
Yeah, but acting like that.
I kind of like it though. You have one job, like that's your one job, and you're training up the person. Like I'm gonna train the person that's gonna take my job.
Right.
I don't know. I don't hate it.
I don't know, dude. I'm just so much of a team guy. Like, just if you can't see that you're 34 years old and probably need to retire soon, then and a team has to have a backup plan.
How old is Aaron Rodgers?
He's pretty old.
Yeah,
I agree. Like this, I would say the same thing about Aaron.
Yeah.
So anyway, Packers draft Rodgers in 2005. He sits under Favre for what, it was like 3 years.
I thought.
It was a long time.
Yeah, it was long. Yeah.
Favre then retires. So then Rodgers becomes QB1 for the Packers.
Sure.
Favre goes on to play for the Jets, which we all forget. He was terrible.
So short.
Just very bad. Then the following season, he signs with the Vikings. I think he played 2 more seasons with the Vikings. And one of the last seasons, he went to the NFC Championship game, lost to the Giants. I remember this well. So now we fast forward to Aaron Rodgers' career. Aaron Rodgers, legendary Packers quarterback. Yeah. They draft Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is furious. They still won't give him any receiver help, but they draft Jordan Love in the first round. Jordan Love sits behind Rodgers for a few years. Rodgers, he claims to embrace it, but I think I remember seeing reports where he was not happy about it. And then the Packers decide to move on from Rodgers. Where does Rodgers go?
New York.
New York. Sounds like a place where Packers quarterbacks die.
Yeah.
And what does he do? Within the first drive of the game,
towards his Achilles.
Tears the Achilles.
Fourth snap of the game.
Fourth snap of the game.
So
Aaron Rodgers
crazy.
tears the Achilles. It's a terrible season with the Jets. He comes back last year. Once again, just a very mediocre season.
Yeah.
And the Jets are just a mess. They're an absolute mess of a franchise.
Such a waste of some talent there too, man.
Go check out John's article on the Power Rankings so you can read about the Jets. Very interesting what he has to say there. But, Rodgers goes to the Jets.
Yeah.
Bad. Now he gets sent to a team in Pittsburgh who, like Minnesota of old, is a team that has a history of winning. I could see us making the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Rodgers just has to be efficient. We don't need him to be, a superhero. We got to the playoffs with Ben Roethlisberger with no arm just like a couple years ago in his last year. Like, I'm not concerned about Rodgers being terrible because we have such a good defense and we have good offensive players around him. The offensive line has been rebuilt and it's much stronger than it has been. We're running the ball efficiently. We draft Caleb Johnson, who is a dog. Like, I love Caleb Johnson. We just made TJ Watt the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL history.
Yeah.
$1 million more than Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett sucks. And he should be banned from the league for what he did to Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph will always remember that.
Attempted murder. Oh, you probably forgot already.
Exactly.
That injury.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We trade Minka, which is kind of odd,
Yeah.
but we do get Jalen Ramsey, which, it's kind of a one-to-one
He's
kind of
good.
sideways deal. Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey's still good.
I mean, if you need corner help more than you need safety help.
Oh, now we need safety help,
Yeah,
which
sure.
is real bad. So,
Yeah.
but Jalen can play some safety. I just think they did a lot to kind of change up the team. One quote that I hear from the Steelers top brass all the time is, "We want volunteers, not hostages." And it seems like there were a lot of players who were playing for the team who were not volunteers. They felt hostage. And so Steelers had no problem moving them on, and going and getting players that wanted to play there. So my hot take, Pittsburgh Steelers win the AFC North.
Wow.
Make the AFC Championship game, and there they lose to the Houston Texans.
Wow. You should make that bet right now.
I
you imagine like that part.
don't have any money.
That part, yeah. Just,
Go like, follow, and subscribe.
yeah.
So I can bet on the Steelers.
Cool.
So that's me. What about your...
Well, I just want to react to that really quick.
Go ahead.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
If that happened. That would be so cool. Like what a story.
History's a circle, dude.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if that story is a circle. We'll see. That would be such a cool story arc. I mean, but if you're Aaron Rodgers at that point, you got to come back next year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the Steelers are all in this year. And then I don't think they have a plan for next year.
No, but here's the thing. They went all in. They get all these guys. We have so many picks next year. We have like 3 seconds, like 2/3, 2/4, 2/5, 2/6. Like we have enough to move up in the draft.
Yeah.
That's the best part. And
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to talk about this, but like we did all these moves without sacrificing future draft capital, which is so hard to do in the NFL because picks are always like the best currency.
Sure.
And like we have all this ammo to move up. Now, are we going to move up to number 1? Like probably not, unless we're like number 5.
Yeah.
You know, but
You could get a Bo Nix at number 12.
but that's what I'm saying. If a guy's up there in the top 10 or top 12, like maybe we can get somebody who falls. You know, maybe Lenora Sellers. Like I'm putting my stamp on it. Lenora Sellers, a dog, Heisman Trophy winner this year, and he's going to be a future Steeler. Let's go.
Wow.
Anyway,
Let's see.
Go ahead. I want to hear your Broncos take.
Go. The Broncos Super Bowl window is now. It's open. It is open. You look at last year, Broncos had the 3rd best defense when it comes to points, behind only the Eagles and the Chargers. Okay. The Broncos' only weaknesses on defense were at safety. They were at middle linebacker. And you could say like 3rd corner, but not really. They go out and they sign Talanoa Hufanga from the 49ers. They go out and they sign Dre Greenlaw from the San Francisco 49ers. Both of those players come over to the Broncos because they cite Bo Nix as being the main reason they want to come over. That is game respecting game. That is.
They said that?
They said that.
That's cool.
Yeah, they said that. So they come over and they cite that as being a main reason they're coming over. So they're looking at film and they're saying, this guy's got it. I want to go over there. I can see what they're building, and I'm going to plug a couple holes on that defense that need plugging, essentially. We have 14 of the 15 starters on our defense returning this year. The only one we lost was our linebacker, Cody Barton, who we started off the street. You should know Cody Barton. He played for the Steelers.
My cousin.
Yeah. But obviously, Dre Greenlaw is filling that void, and then we needed safety help next to Brandon Jones in our secondary. You go into the draft, and you are gifted Jahdae Barron for your slot corner.
Could have been Luther Burton, but
been Luther Burton, but what a way to just really put your stamp on the defense and say, no one's doing anything to us this year. Like, we're going to suffocate you. We're going to make sure that you have the worst time when you come and play the Denver Broncos. They play Cam Ward week 1, and I'm not sure that Cam Ward finishes that game. That is going to be insane. On top of that, you have Bo Nix coming back in year 2. Year 1, he has the 2nd most passing touchdowns of anybody in NFL history, second to only Justin Herbert. He had more than Jaden Daniels last year. Just to throw that out there. You have Cortland Sutton remaining. He's your solid number 1. You have Marvin Mims really coming into his own. You have Troy Franklin. We'll see if he can turn it on. You got Devon Vele coming back. You draft Pat Bryant late in the draft.
Michael Thomas, slant God. Let's go.
Pat Bryant, slant God. And then Sean Payton. He goes out and he signs Evan Ingram to fill the tight end void. We haven't had a good tight end since Julius Thomas. Think about that.
Dog, I love Julius Thomas.
Julius Thomas. Yeah, he was good for like 3 years. Yeah, with Peyton Manning in his prime. So you go out and you sign Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram, I won't say he's Brock Bowers level, but he's definitely the 2nd best tight end in the AFC West now. And I would say he's probably a top 5 tight end this year. Yeah. Because Sean Payton loves his tight ends. And what does he love to do? What else does he love to do?
Run the ball.
What did they do in the draft?
My guy.
Your guy, R.J. Harvey. The Broncos go out and draft R.J. Harvey. And the Jags are furious. Because the Jags really, really wanted R.J. Harvey. But why don't you go get your guy if you like him?
Liam Cohen wanted his Bucky.
You wanted his guy, man. Yeah. So you hope that R.J. Harvey pops. And I really think he's going to, because the system is catered to running backs. You look at Mark Ingram and you look at Alvin Kamara in New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, he's never had 1,000-yard season, but how many 1,500-yard seasons has he had?
Ton.
Yeah, ton, exactly. Yeah, on top of that, I didn't even talk about this to you before, but we have the best return game in the NFL. Marvin Mims. Back-to-back Pro Bowls for Marvin Mims.
It's impressive.
For the returner.
I do love Marvin Mims.
Dude, I don't see a weakness. We could probably, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how Pat Bryant is. But, I mean, if Marvin Mims turns into the receiver that he was the last couple games of last year, where it was last 5 games, I think he had 4 touchdowns. I think that's what it was. I got to check that. But, man, Bo Nix is going to take the step. And you know why? Do you know when the last time he had the same offensive coordinator in back-to-back seasons?
Probably never.
High school.
High school?
You know who it was?
Steve Young.
It was his father.
Oh, that's
it was
crazy.
not Steve Young's father. It was Bo Nix's father. Bo Nix's father.
Yeah.
Every year in college, he had a different offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Coming into the NFL, obviously, Sean Payton is a different offensive coordinator. Dude, it's on. Like the Broncos are going to put the league on notice this year. They are going to be so good. I could easily see like a 13-4 record.
Wow. You think they win the division?
I think that's their ceiling. I think that's their ceiling is probably like 13-4.
So Chiefs are 10-7.
I mean, if it's all up to me, I think it would be. I could see it being the Broncos at like 12 or 13 wins,
Yep.
Chargers at like 11 wins, Chiefs at 10, and then the Raiders at like 7.
Dang, that's spicy.
Yeah,
I love that. Chargers at 2.
I think it could turn out that way. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that I am going to say the Broncos are going to take the division this year. If barring injury and if Bo takes that step, then I think this division is on lock, and I think the Texans could be facing the Broncos in the AFC Championship.
Oh, wow. I like it.
I'm not going to say
like
it. That's not part of mine.
Dude,
that's
us Steelers, Broncos,
oh my gosh.
AFC Championship,
Dude, we would be
nuts.
Unhinged. I'd see you a mile high.
I just have such bad memories of playing the Broncos in playoffs the last few years.
My guy, Tebow.
Tebow and then Peyton.
All
with that.
That fumble. Who was that, like, 4th-string running back? You guys?
Jonathan. It wasn't Jonathan Dwyer. It was like Gary Russell or something. It was such a bad. Steelers had such a bad run at running back. Rashard Mendenhall just terrified of contact, and all these other guys.
That was such a stupid game.
But,
it was like 15-13 or 12 or whatever it was.
It was
such a dumb
bad game.
Yeah,
but no, dude. I give. Just so everybody knows, I give Trey a lot of crap for his Broncos fandom. He goes in, and I love it,
dude.
I'll be honest. I'm buying in. I think the Broncos are a very good team. For me, the hardest part is figuring out how that division is going to shake up.
Yeah,
because you have 4 amazing coaches.
Yeah,
you got Andy Reid, you got Sean Payton,
Pete Carroll,
and Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
All winners.
Yeah.
All guys who have been in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
This is insane. And
you and I talked about this too before, but Pete Carroll and Sean Payton, either one of them, if they win a Super Bowl, they'd be the first coach in NFL history to win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams.
Right.
So crazy.
It's so crazy. So and all those teams are building well. I love what the Chargers are doing.
Yeah.
The Chiefs obviously have just maintained, and even when they lose, dope offensive linemen, somehow they draft a guy in Josh Connerly at the very end of the first round who is a dog.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense. You got the Raiders who go and get Genty. They got Bowers last year. They're building this offensive powerhouse. And then you got the Broncos building up this defense, which they need in that division.
Yeah.
They need real bad. And Bo Nix. I'm right there with you. If Bo Nix can take that next step, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
So that's what we need is Bo to take one more step.
Guess who I didn't mention?
Who?
Reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain.
Mr. Surtain.
Mr. Surtain.
Junior.
Did you see that clip
Junior.
of Chad Ochocinco?
No.
You didn't see that?
Uh-uh.
So he was doing I guess it's like a wide receiver camp or something. And they had everybody. You had Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Jamar Chase, like they were all there. And I think he's back to Chad Johnson now. I think he changed his name back. Anyways, he was like, this is how you beat Pat Surtain.
Right.
Like that's what he's like talking about. And all of the wide receivers there, Jamar Chase too. He's like, you can't do that. You just can't beat him. They were saying that about Pat Surtain.
You know who can beat Pat Surtain?
Not George Pickens.
George Pickens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Go back.
We'll see.
Hold on.
Hey,
Go back to the film from last year.
There's a flag on the play.
George Pickens was just dogging him out.
He did. That one, it was like a 52-yard pass. Justin Fields, by the way.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
Man,
Justin Fields.
that was from Justin Fields. He was like a 50-yard pass or something, and
Yeah.
he did beat Pat. But thank God for that flag. It didn't
Pat
show
doesn't
up
get
on
beat
stat
by many
sheet.
people.
Dude, he doesn't.
That's why I think
and that's
George
what
Pickens
Jamar
is
was
dog.
saying. So we talk about Jamar Chase beating everybody.
Yeah.
And then when he plays Pat,
Shut down.
he's got like under 30 yards
Yeah.
like every single time.
Yep.
Just and you know, Chad Johnson, that's what he was saying, is like, this is how you beat him. And they're all sitting there being like, you can't beat him.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. He will just do this. And they were just giving him so much grief. Dude, to hear the top-tier wide receivers talk about a corner that way, and they're trying to devise a plan to beat him,
Right.
dude, that's so much respect.
Yeah.
So much respect. And anyways, the fact that I mentioned him last, he's the best player on our team.
Yeah.
I mentioned all these other things, but you know, and you said, yeah, I'm buying in. And then I mentioned the best player on our team.
That's
Dude,
right.
that's
All
so
this
crazy.
and Pat Surtain.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, I love it, dude. And I'm a big fan of RJ Harvey.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think RJ's going to be a dog. Like,
Hope so.
I can see it.
Yeah.
So, let's
Target
do-
Evan Ingram, target RJ Harvey in your drafts.
Just take all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
I mean,
take them all.
like, it only goes up from
Yeah.
here. I think
Yeah,
it's going to be a good year for the Broncos.
Yeah, man.
Well,
it's going to be fun.
That's it for our hot takes. That's pretty much it for this episode.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so
that's good.
this has been a blast, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear more from us, you can follow me, Kameron, on Twitter at bigsquishyboi, BOI. We'll put that down in the link in the description.
Yeah.
You can follow Trey at Trey_Bailey.
That's right.
On Twitter. You can also follow the Fan Feed Network on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or visit our website, www.fanfeednetwork.com. We're going to start cranking out these articles because it's time.
About to hit the ground running.
We got all our writers on the same page. And like I said before, if you do want your voice to be heard via the podcast or on the website or any way, we do have a couple ways that you can do that. We will have a couple segments that are recurring. So like we did hot takes tonight. So hot take hotline. You guys send us your hot takes. You can send it on any of our socials via DM. We have another one that we're going to work on is fired up or fraud.
Yeah.
So if you feel like there's a player who's being overhyped or under talked about, or a team that's overhyped or under talked about, and you want to talk about it or you want us to talk about it on the show, go ahead, send that in our social DMs. You can also, this is my favorite one, the Twitter Scout team, because I can only see but so much stuff on Twitter, and I can only be on it but so much. But if you tag at FanFeed, I'm sorry, I'm messing it up, at FanFeed Network, then when you see clips on Twitter of training camp highlights or crazy catches or bad takes or good takes or whatever, tag us in it so that we can feature it on the show. We'll share you, we'll put you all over it. But we want this, once again, FanFeed is about fan-driven content.
Yeah.
It's not about us being professionals. Me and Trey have not been in sports very long. This is about fans having their voices be heard and us just being passionate. And I'm over here talking about the Steelers going to the AFC Championship. Like, no way. It's probably not happening, but we're having fun with this. So anyway, those are the ways you can follow us. If you're watching this video on YouTube, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Or if you're listening to this on your podcast, follow us. And if you don't mind, give us a comment or a share, a rating. It all goes a very long way as we start this long journey of the 2025 NFL season.
Yeah.
You feel good, Trey?
Yeah, I feel good, man. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
going to have stuff come out every single week. Lots of stuff come out. So, yeah, give us a follow. We're excited
Absolutely.
about it. Yeah.
All right. And with that, we will see you guys next week.
Welcome to the show. We're bringing the heat. No suits, no scripts, just takes from the street. Every week we break down the squads. Real fans. This is the fan.